Yeah, tough stretch for us with having 4 games in 8 days, 3 of them on the road. But we got, maybe the toughest road trip out of the way. And I thought we played well this weekend, and really tough environments and a tough travel schedule. And just looking forward to a little reset, having a home match on Wednesday, and some days in between some games where we can work on us a little bit and don't have to prep constantly for other teams. But hopefully it's a turning point for us. Really felt like it after the Pitt match that our team was pretty fired up and pretty motivated, and we played great on Sunday. So I feel like it might be kind of what this team needed.
Might answer a little bit of my question, Coach. When you get to this point in the question, this point on the schedule, which is kind of getting to the home stretch, really, what do you want to see from your veteran team? Obviously, you want to be able to see them have a business-like approach after a loss like that. But as they're making this, what do you want to see from them?
I really want to see their confidence rise. And, it's funny, a lot of coaches around the country are like, it's the October blues, or this is the time of season it gets really tough. And this year, I really don't feel that from our team. I think it's because we're changing so much, and we still haven't peaked. And what's cool is our team feels that. And after Pitt, they kept saying, like, we haven't peaked yet, and our time's still coming. And so they're pretty motivated right now, more than any team I've coached in the past at this point in the season. So continue to see their confidence rise and, clean up and play a little bit cleaner, less errors, and play with a little more trust. So we're starting to see that, and that's what's exciting and I think motivating for this last push, like you said, last month of the season.
Dani, what does it say about the emotional toughness of this team to be able to bounce back from that game at Pitt and then turn right around and go to SMU and be able to take care of business there?
Yeah, it sets a standard now moving forward, too, and, that we know we can do it, and that's what we need to do. And, we are a veteran team, but that doesn't mean that's easier to bounce back. But I think the leadership really stepped up, and what's cool is on Friday night, Charity Looper and Anna DeBeer took a lot of swings, and then, we knew we couldn't do that on Sunday. They were tired, and we had other players step up and play great. And I think that's a sign of a great team, and a team that, like you said, is really emotionally tough and mentally ready for challenges down the stretch, which you're going to have to play 2 great teams in a row to make a run in December.
You used the word, or 2 words, turning point. Could you kind of elaborate on that, and also talk about how this tough ACC schedule prepares you for the NCAA?
Yeah, we played some really good teams that ranked higher than us early in the year, and it didn't go very well. And so I think there was a little bit of a question mark in the back of our heads, like, do we belong in this top echelon, top 4? Top 5, and I think we proved that against Pitt, and it was an emotional game, like it always is against them. But that's why, you play sports, and that's one of the reasons why rivalries are so special and fun and entertaining. And so, I just thought after the game, the way the team, like the coaches didn't even have time to say anything, because it was just talk from them about leadership, what they believe they can do, what we need to do moving forward. And it was like, all right, I guess we're done after this post-game speech. And so I thought it was just a turning point in our belief and what we can do. And then the ACC, yeah, super tough. And you've seen like North Carolina, who was unranked all year, they're now ranked, and they had 2 huge wins. And so there's teams that continue to get better in the ACC and are going to challenge us, and it definitely is going to prepare us more in the tournament, and also it just gives us the opportunity to continue to prove ourselves. Like we have 1 win, and then we don't get a chance until December. Every week we have an opportunity to prove to ourselves and to the country that we're a great program, great team this year.
Besides being just kind of strange to play somebody twice in a week, does it present any challenges at all because of? I
don't think so. I think it's just unique, and this happens in a lot of conferences with the unbalance of number of teams, odd number of teams. I just think it's more the 4 games in 8 days that's a challenge. Like thinking that tomorrow, we're off today. Tomorrow we're already prepping for another match, and then we're going to turn around and play that same team. But that's kind of nice too on a short week that you're going to make some adjustments the second time, but you still are going to have the same players and that in the back of your heads.
Danny, at this point of the year, you are who you are, it feels like. But when you get a back-to-back opponent like this, does it help you maybe discover something a little bit new about a team that already this deep into the year, when you can go back on tape and say, okay, we did this against them, we should do this next?
Yeah, I think it's more of like discovering the intangibles and what's really there, and maybe looking for certain players to step up and play a little bit grittier or do some things they haven't done against a great team, and that's what we saw. So I don't think you're really changing much. It's more looking for intangibles and some of the emotional and mental toughness that you need to make a stretch and run in December.
Danny has a Facebook fan page, and they've asked me to ask some questions. They jumped all over me because I asked lame questions last week, so I thought I'd challenge them to come up with a question. And one of their questions is, do you have a secret to maintaining this level of play after expecting to play so intensely for 2 games in a row? Are you worried this might be a trap game?
Honestly, I'm not. I think in the past I would be, but just the way our team responded, I'm not worried about it being a trap game. And we'll also probably look to use some of our depth this week and, get some players some playing time that we think could, help us during this last stretch of the year.
And they have another one is, have you thought about any adjustments you might make to when we play Pitt again in November?
Not yet. We had to go pretty quick as a coaching staff to SMU and what we're going to do there. And now it's quick into Notre Dame. So we'll sit back and evaluate that when it gets closer to November. But I thought we made great adjustments during the match against Pitt and maybe stayed with those. And we could have got out of some of those adjustments a little bit quicker. But I thought it was just a well-played match and a well-coached match on both sides of the net.
You talked in the preseason about the schedule and how difficult. I know you're in the middle of it now, but have you looked at the RPI and gone, man, we did a pretty good job of putting this schedule together, because it's like 1 through 9 is like everybody that you have played. I mean, it's pretty wild how it's worked out, I guess.
Yeah, you never really know how it's going to work out, but like I said at the beginning of the year, I found paper and I'm like, this is a little aggressive. And now that we're halfway through, halfway point, it's like that was probably a good schedule for us. And the way the timing has worked out, it's been really good. I think we have the toughest ACC schedule, with finishing with Pitt and at Stanford. That's going to be a tough finish. But again, that's what it's going to feel like in a Final Four atmosphere or regional atmosphere, is playing 2 great teams back to back. So it really is preparing us, for the tournament, which is great. All right, thanks, everybody.